Hi parents, it's Betsy with Easy Peasy, and today I wanted to talk to you about building a routine with your toddler as far as saying goodbyes, either when you're leaving them somewhere or when you are leaving home, so that you can build up trust with them and they will have confidence that you are going to return and things will go more smoothly, less tears, hopefully, and it'll be easier for you and your toddler for goodbyes. So here are my 4 tips to building that trust. The first one is to have a routine. So every time you're going to say goodbye or every time you're going to drop the child off somewhere with someone else, there's a babysitter, anytime you're saying goodbye, even if you're just leaving the room, if you want to start even with that, I'm going to take a shower, you can start very basic, but always have a routine. So get down on their level and say goodbye, give them a hug, give them a kiss, say, now it's time for mommy to go, etc. So you always want to do the same thing. And the reason why is because that's building in their mind, knowing that this is what's happening and understanding it. So they feel confident in what is happening. They don't feel insecure. They're not as scared because this is what always happens. So we have a goodbye routine when my husband leaves for work. I am home with the kids right now, so I don't leave as much. They see me a lot more. But when he leaves, we go to the door, we say goodbye, we give him a hug and a kiss and say, have a good day at work, Dad. And then we talk about when Dad is going to come home, when we'll see Dad again. It'll be a long routine. You don't have to hold your kid for 20 minutes and sing 3 songs, but something that is always going to happen every time there's a goodbye. So build a routine. The second one is to be transparent. So this one means you need to be honest and open with your child. It is sometimes easier, I know I'm guilty of it as well, to try and sneak away like, oh, they're playing. They won't notice if I leave the house. They will notice. They may not notice right then. So you may think you're saving yourself some tears and some heartache if you sneak away then. And you will save yourself then. But they're not going to trust. They're going to be afraid all the time looking over their shoulder. Is mom leaving? Is dad leaving? They're not going to know what's going on. And to them, that feels very insecure and not as safe. So be transparent and say, it's time for mom to go work in the office now. So I'm going to go work for 20 minutes and then I'll come back and play with you. Or mommy needs to go to the store right now and I'll be back at dinner time, or etc. Okay, so that is building their trust by telling them what's going on. And they might be sad, but remind them that grown-ups come back. Daniel Tiger has an episode about grown-ups come back, and it gives many examples, and it has a song, Grown-ups Come Back, that we like to sing if they get a little nervous. So, okay, I'll come back. I know you're sad, but I'll be back. And give them a time to be back. If you say I'll be back later, or I'll be back after work, or I'll be back, they don't necessarily know what that means. So give them a reference they do know. Say, when it's snack time, I'll be back. Or tonight before bedtime, I'll be back and I'll come in and give you a kiss goodnight. Okay, so be transparent with them. So number 1, you want to build a routine. Even if it's a simple one, build a routine that you always do. Number 2, be transparent and tell them what you're doing, how long you'll be gone, when you'll be back. Number 3 is follow through. So if you tell your toddlers, I'm going to the office to work, I'll be back in 15 minutes. I sometimes set a timer, and that seems to help when the timer goes off. Okay, then it's time for mommy to come back and play with us in this room again. Then you need to follow through. So if I say I'm going to be gone 15 minutes cleaning or in the shower or doing this or in the kitchen cooking, then I need to come back in 15 minutes. The reason why is because it is very tempting as the adult to say, well, now they're playing independently. I don't need to go back in 15 minutes, but you're building trust. So you really want to you want to help them to trust that you are going to come back, and you're going to come back when you say that you're coming back. So whether it's I'm going to come back at lunch, or whether it's I'll be back in 5 minutes, then you need to follow through with that so that they can build that trust with you, and then they won't be as scared and afraid when it is time to leave. Oh, mom needs to go take a shower, but she'll come back after her shower. They understand that because you've modeled that to them, and so they can trust that. Okay, so you can start small with this. You can say, mommy's going to go in her room for 5 minutes, and I'm going to close the door, and this is time for you to play in the living room, and I'm going to be in my room, and I'm going to come back in 5 minutes. And it's okay if they whine a little bit. Again, they're learning. It's a learning process. Even if there's a little bit of tears, I know it's hard for mom and it's hard for dad, but this is helping them to understand. And then you come back, you say, Mommy came back and I told you I would in 5 minutes, and now it's time for us to play together. This also helps building their independent playtime so that they feel more comfortable. Okay, I know mom is right there in that room and I know she's going to come back. So it's all about building that trust. So then the last one is to practice this. Like I said, you do it over and over and over. That's how toddlers learn. They learn by doing it over and over and over. So having that routine that they hear repeatedly, being transparent, following through, and doing it all the time. So if you don't leave the house, which is a big thing right now in our pandemic times, if you are working at home, if you are staying at home all the time, if you don't see a lot of outside people, you don't have a sitter, you don't have daycare, you don't have school, whatever, then be sure to practice it within the home. So even, it's time for for me, it's time for mom to take the garbage out. I'll be back in 5 minutes. You can watch out the window if you want, and you can see me bring the big trash cans to the curb, but you're going to stay here and mom's going to do that, and I'll be back in 5 minutes, or 3 minutes. And so if there are some tears, it's only 3 minutes. It's a small activity, but we're building that in practice. So I hope these 4 tips will help you to work with your toddler, not against them, to build some trust, and they can have confidence whenever we're saying goodbye and be more settled and more peaceful with the goodbye routine. So have a great day and God bless you. Bye.